You've gone through the rigorous process of securing an O-1 visa, the mountains of paperwork proving your extraordinary abilities, and likely working with a lawyer every step of the way. But now you're transitioning to a marriage-based green card and you're wondering, is this process just as complicated? Will my O-1 status make this easier or harder? In this video, we're addressing all the questions you might be having right now so you can avoid unnecessary stress and ensure a smooth transition. Here's what most O-1 visa holders don't realize about transitioning to a marriage-based green card. Your case is different. It's not harder, it's not easier, it's just different. The USCIS will look at your case through a unique lens. Why? Because you already have a history with them. At the same time, many O-1 visa holders assume that their documented achievements and previous visa approval will make this process faster or simpler. But the truth is, the USCIS doesn't consider your O-1 when evaluating your marriage-based green card application. I mean, they do, but only in the context of you having a previous visa, just like any other visa. Aside from that, your extraordinary abilities might strengthen your moral character, but the marriage AUS process is entirely focused on your relationship. And that means you will still need to gather a completely new set of evidence, prove your relationship, joint accounts, leases, and more. You might be wondering, what happens to my O-1 after I submit my application? Am I jeopardizing my current status in any way? The good news is that your O-1 visa and the AOS process are separate. They're independent tracks. Submitting your AOS application doesn't automatically cancel or impact your O-1 visa status. As long as you meet the conditions of your O-1 visa, continuing to work in your field of extraordinary ability and not violating its terms, you can maintain your O-1 status while your AOS is pending. This provides a great safety net as you will retain legal status in the US even if your green card application faces delays or issues, whatever it is. But that's when couples come to us and say, okay, but what if I don't want to continue my employment any longer? Life happens, right? Sometimes people stay in jobs they don't enjoy just to maintain their O-1 status, and that can feel like you're stuck without any options. For example, a member of our marriage immigration method was on O-1. They came to us saying that, hey, I actually cannot stay in that situation any longer. It also didn't make any financial sense, so I really need to change the employers ASAP. Here's the good news. Applying for a work permit or EAD as part of your marriage-based adjustment of status can give you the freedom of choice you're looking for. With an approved EAD, you're no longer tied to your O-1 employment and you can change jobs, take a break, or explore opportunities in completely different fields. Of course, it's always best to maintain your O-1 status while your green card is pending. Having that as a backup ensures you're protected in case of delays or issues with your adjustment application. However, it's important to understand that once you start using your work permit or EAD to take on a new job or change employers, you're effectively stepping away from your O-1 visa. The O-1 visa is tied to specific employment and requires you to continue working in your field of extraordinary ability under the terms of your visa. By switching to the EAD, you're no longer meeting the conditions of your O-1, so you won't be able to fall back on it if something unexpected happens with your green card application. I mean, in practice, this isn't usually an issue for most people because once you started your marriage adjustment of status process and have your EAD, you're on a solid path to securing your green card. But it's still important to know this ahead of time so you can make an informed decision about when to start using your work permit, right? Our program members are seeing work permit approvals in about 2 months, allowing them to explore new employment opportunities faster than they imagined. So if you are ready for a complete marriage immigration solution and the support of a private community of immigrant couples just like you, schedule your free call with our team today and take the first step towards successfully completing this process. Look, the marriage-based EAD offers incredible freedom and flexibility. You can work for any employer, take a break, or even switch careers. For many couples, this is a game changer and one of the reasons why marriage adjustment becomes a viable option. Now, let's briefly cover the biggest questions you might be having right now. What happens if my adjustment of status application is denied? Look, the reality of things is that it's highly unlikely, but I know that immigrant spouses dwell on this question a lot. If your AOS is denied, you don't automatically revert to O-1 status. You will only retain it if you've continued to meet its terms, such as maintaining employment in your field of extraordinary ability. Plus, you've already shown immigrant intent, so renewing that visa would be an issue. This is why it's so important to submit a complete error-free AUS application on the first try. From providing thorough relationship evidence to ensuring no technical mistakes are made, as you probably know by now, every detail matters. And although it's truthfully a ton of paperwork when it comes to marriage adjustment, I think it still might be a bit easier than the O-1 visa process. Then you might also be wondering if you can travel internationally. And if not, how long will it take to be able to travel? No one likes to get stuck in the US for too long without an ability to travel. You will be able to travel, but only if you have an approved advance parole document. Without this document, leaving the US while your AOS is pending would be considered abandonment of your green card application. And it will take around 6 months for you to get it. The solution? Plan ahead. Submit your advance parole application as part of your adjustment package to ensure you have the travel permit ready when you need it. This way you can avoid any disruptions to your plans or your green card process. Then of course you probably want to know how long this transition will take. It depends on how long it takes you to prepare your application. That's where it starts, right? So let's imagine that we're working on this together. It takes anywhere from 2 to 3 weeks to prepare your adjustment package, and then after you submit it, after you do your biometrics appointment, it takes about 2 to 3 months to get your work permit and around 12 months to get your green card. Please budget for at least 12 to 18 months so you don't get discouraged along the way, but we've seen so many cases approved significantly faster. But yeah, a bit of luck also goes into this, right? Another question you might have is, will USCIS question my intentions when I entered the US on an O-1 visa? Will they suspect anything? Again, we immigrants really like to entertain all the what-if scenarios, so let's just tackle this one. They will review your entire immigration file as part of your green card process, but really, this only becomes an issue when people file for their green card too fast after their O-1 entry. So most of the time, it's not the case, since the O-1 applicant was in the country for quite some time. Finally, you might also be asking yourself, should I hire a lawyer for this one? You might be hesitant if you had a bad previous experience with them. We had a couple come to us and tell us that their O-1 application was submitted by a law firm, and they received a denial. When they actually reviewed that submission, they found a ton of errors, repeated irrelevant information, but the important stuff was missing, which is crazy, but they told us that they never reviewed their application prior to submission. So that happens too. Or maybe you had a great experience, but you're still researching your options. All I will say is this, it's a step-by-step process. It's not rocket science, but it's intentionally overcomplicated with just a bunch of forms and a ton of supporting evidence. They're just nuances that you wouldn't even know exist until you go through this process. But here's the thing, hiring a lawyer isn't your only option. That's why we created our marriage immigration method, a step-by-step program designed to guide you through the entire marriage green card process. This is what we do all day, every day, helping professional couples just like you avoid costly mistakes and unnecessary stress, all without the need to hire a law firm. Whether you're feeling unsure about how to start or just want peace of mind knowing you're doing everything right, our method can help you file with confidence. Think about it. You already have everything you need. It's just about putting it all together without relying on a third party, hoping that they do it right on your behalf. And please, if you still have additional questions that I did not answer in this video, drop them in the comments and we will get back to you.